Hi guys,
Hey everyone!
welcome to Make 2 and episode 30 of our Minecraft Let's Build a World in Maketopia.
Minecraft Pocket Edition.
Exactly, yeah. We're starting off right by the furthest thing we've built. And this is a special episode for two reasons. First, in these videos, I give a whole tour of the world, which obviously gets bigger every 10 episodes that we do this. And second of all, there's going to be a map download, so see the video description if you want to download this entire map with all 30 episodes of building in it.
Yeah, so basically when we started this series we said every 10 episodes we would make a map available for download, so this is now, number 30. Alright, look at this cruise ship. I had forgotten that you put a pool at the front of the cruise ship.
There's a pool, there's anchors that go all the way down to the seafloor.
Man.
We're now heading back towards land. And this was our ode to fire. We built some houses here, and bits of them are still standing, and bits of them are still on fire.
Are you serious?
That's netherrack down there.
Okay. Yeah,
we got
we got these fun comments from viewers about times that they had accidentally set things on fire or something went wrong in Minecraft. It was hilarious.
Here we have our very first builds, which were the beachside resort, including over here beach cabin, a nice place by the beach. We missed over here, but over here, this is what started off the fire episode, was this building, this amazing house built into a mountain.
That is really cool. Did you add the lawn furniture or the patio furniture?
At some point I might have done. And actually we're going to go through this whole building. Because if you go all the way to the back here, and you go through this door, you enter the garage where they keep their fancy cars, which are, a bit blocky. But from this angle, you can see, oh, look, there are cars.
Yeah, that's all Need for Speed stuff. Yep, I can tell.
Exactly. And then come out of their beautiful quartz road because they're super fancy and wealthy because they live in a mountain. And these are sort of the entrance to the back of their property. Down here is a path that goes to a beautiful beach. And over here, this is where you start going on the roads to Maketopia. This is the back of the resort, yeah. And over there it's even a little car park with a little car in. And in the distance, this is new, you can see our castle walls. We're actually going to circle back to them, I think, at the end of the episode.
Yeah, we've got something in the castle for a nice surprise.
But here we have the farm. I really like this, and I think this barn, the one with the white roof, remains one of my favourite buildings.
I kind of really like your planting fields.
Okay, well, let's take a look at those from above. This was one of the longest and yet most boring parts of all of Maketopia, building a massive square field of corn.
But no, what I mean is all the fields together, it's so clear that this is a farm. You know what I mean? You did a good job with that.
Thanks very much. And out here we have all the animal pens, and some of them are still here. There was a problem where loads of them were disappearing, but there's still some sheep and cows and a mushroom or two, so that's cool. But I think the pigs have disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So here we have a pathway, and this is where sort of the countryside, roads being made of sandstone, merges into rock. Oh, look at that, we have a lava field. And through here we have sort of the road gets nicer and nicer as we go through the mountain. And this is where kind of the rural area of Maketopia starts to join with the more urban centre. And that's what we've been focusing on most of the time since about episode 10, I think. So here we have, the end of the rural road, and it snakes around and joins this much more impressive looking road here, which will go off in the distance that way maybe one day. But from around here it snakes down here. You can see an even more impressive road there. Roads take a lot of time.
Yeah.
And, I don't think people love them, but they take more time probably than a lot of buildings.
But they're necessary to make it look like a real place. So
this road snakes around and it joins up to the main road here, and we have some beautifully modern houses.
Very nice.
And down at the end we have a new addition since the last map download, which is both a DIY tree and also this beautiful river cottage.
DIY tree as in you built the tree?
I built some that you can just plant trees and they grow. Okay. For this tree I actually just built it brick by brick, block by block. From here you can see another one of my favourite builds. This is the town zoo, the World Zoo. It's a glass perfect half sphere And it's surrounded by diamond blocks and quartz, and at the top there's just kind of this fake or big massive fire thing. What are those things that
like a
torch?
cauldron or a torch.
Yeah, exactly. And if you see inside there possibly are still some animals in there. I can still see some. There's a wolves and there's an ocelot and other things rolling around. If you don't know what it is, it's a zoo. It says so right there. And that takes us on to the town hall. This was at the time my first big proper attempt at a proper building. And I still think it's really, really nice. It's built on modelled after the state capital of Nebraska. And that was great to have a real world Art Deco building to copy. We can go inside here. There's not much in here. But if I remember correctly, if we head this way, there's some stairs down. And I haven't been here in a long time, but if you go down all these stairs, I don't know if you ever saw this, it goes to a car park.
Well, I know, I helped you build this. Didn't I?
No.
Are you serious?
You helped me build something else. I'll show you what you helped me build.
Oh,
so this is an underground car park.
Okay.
We can go one of two ways. Let's go this way. And you see from here...
Yeah, the big park.
You can get out into the city park. We have a Tudor-style mansion, a massive fountain that's still going strong. And we have this lion statue, which I really love, which I completely copied a design online, and in our video for the park, I link you to the video whose design I copied for that, but I think it's just so cool, I just couldn't resist putting it in the town. Over this way, we have stairs down here to our subway that we'll go to in a minute, but first, all of this is new since the last download. This is a big extension out of the city into the business district. And here we have a small Empire State Building. And here we have a bigger Sears Tower from Chicago, which I would have wanted it to be much higher than this, but you can only build right up to that height in Minecraft, yeah.
Well, it doesn't, you can't have it so tall that, because the Empire State Building is
I know,
right next to it. You don't want it to look, completely out of proportion.
Yeah. One small thing, there's a tiny hole inside the middle of this lake. Right there, can you see?
Yeah.
And that's where we did all our exploring, remember, in the caves.
Oh.
And when I did exploring in the caves, I came out right here.
Oh.
So that goes down to the caves.
Interesting.
Now, heading back this way, there's still a whole bunch of buildings that we haven't seen yet. So actually on both sides of the street, on this side of the street, we have three very important buildings to any town. We have the theatre, which started off possibly as a temple to the occult. Look at that styling.
Yeah, it's very dark.
Yeah, I set myself the challenge of building all in dark nether stone. Nether bricks. Well, I think that looks pretty cool. I really like, kind of has a bit of a Lord of the Rings feel for me.
Mm-hmm.
Over here we have the thing that I've most recently finished is a train station.
Yep. Modelled
very loosely on St Pancras in London.
St Pancras / King's Cross.
Yeah, I think it's now called St Pancras Hotel. Mm-hmm. And then we have a station going out into, this tunnel here, so you can't see all of the train. But I really like this build. And next to it is a slightly more simple utilitarian build. But it's a police station. I think you can forgive a police station for being a little bit utilitarian. And this is what you helped build. You helped do this car park here.
Yes, I remember now.
And you helped do the inside as well, which is a little bit barren. Let's just fix those up like that. So I think it's quite nice. Again, modelled loosely after a building in real life. Immediately opposite, we have our apartment building. Mm-hmm. Which is 2 stories, with apartments on either flank, and in the middle it's just a communal area.
2, is it not 3 stories with the part in the middle?
The bit in the middle is 3, but it's really open.
Okay.
So it's just...
It's like a loft, sort of?
Well, it's more just a massive lobby area.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this was fun. I think a really good prelude to building the train station in terms of the design techniques and using that much stone and having something look good vertically as well as horizontally. Now down this side we have brownstones. Did 3 brownstones. It's annoying that these trapdoors, every time there's an update, the trapdoors all reset themselves.
Really?
Yeah. So they're all...
That's weird.
Yeah, against the wall, and now they're not against the wall, but so be it.
There's that one at the bottom.
Yeah, I know. There we go. So we have our 3 brownstones. These are more old-fashioned apartment living.
Townhomes.
Yeah, townhomes, yeah. And they all have basements as well. And I think at least 3 floors. I think the one in the middle, these 2 at the end are 3 or 4 floors. This one's a little bit smaller. And they even have a water tower on top of them. And drain pipes as well, and a tiny, tiny backyard.
Wait, to the right?
To the right is the fire station. And this one was modelled after the Lego Creator Expert line of modular buildings, and this was the fire station from a few years ago. Which again, are really good to use these kind of buildings, either real life or from things like Lego, to gain inspiration and try and translate them into Minecraft. And just learning about, lines, and that you can have different colours for different floors. That's what I took from this. And that strong black line to separate the floors is pretty cool. And the kind of cool flag as well. So, we're now going to head back out, I think, because there's 2 massive things we haven't seen yet. First is the Maketopia sign.
Indeed.
Yep, which I first showed off on episode 20, I think. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
And was a lot of fun actually to make. It was a bit of a big craft project to try and get it exactly right, and obviously design it all beforehand before you actually build the thing.
Yeah, what is it called? Is it pixel art?
Pixel art, yeah. So basically drew it, got it on paper first, and then just copied it to make it look exactly right there. And here we are heading to the end of the episode and the last of the stuff I want to show you. This is the castle walls of an ancient city that is in ruins, as you can see here. There's bits that have just been, when it's been bombarded over the years, it's just, never been repaired.
We've already shown the castle in a previous episode, but we've got new stuff now.
Yeah, new stuff on the inside. So the castle wall goes around a massive area. And even though once it was used as the heart of an empire, and since then it's become a little bit destroyed, it's still a great tourist attraction today in Maketopia.
Yep.
So we are going to go inside and see what the people who own this have set up for us. So it's a lovely little fair to celebrate episode 30 of Let's Build Our World in Minecraft Pocket Edition.
It's kind of like a Renaissance fair, because it's in a castle.
That's true.
Is he trying to kill you?
Well,
what?
I think they're trying to hug me.
You're trying to kill them with carpet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it works too. So I made a little farm here, a little petting zoo.
Yeah.
So little kids can come and play with the zoo. I did the unfortunate thing of putting ocelots in with the chickens.
Oh no!
And that's why you see feathers and chickens floating about.
Oh no!
Yeah, poor little chickens. But the ocelots, they had a great time. And actually, normally the ocelots that go super crazy and just running around like mad. They've calmed down a bit, so that's good. Maybe
Probably because they're full.
Yeah, they've eaten all the chickens. And what I've done for the rest of this is done a whole load of little shop sort of fairground stalls. So all styled in a similar way. And each of them most of them have a different coloured roof.
Yeah.
And are selling different items. So you can get cakes.
Cute.
You can get maybe little trinkets here, some more cakes, some more veggies.
Oh, we need more villagers to come and man these market stalls.
Flowers. And here you can get just mementos of Maketopia.
Like heads.
Like heads of different things. Here is the creeper stall. Here we have the Steve stall.
Oh my gosh, you're so weird.
Here's the zombie stall. And here is the wither stall. And that's why it's all in black. There's not that many mementos you can put out on these things.
Yeah.
And then we've done those over there. And then here in the middle of the square, there's a hot air balloon. Yeah,
that's cool.
Ready to take off and show the people who get lucky enough to go on the ride everything in Maketopia. So this was, a fun little build. It's obviously not quite a sphere, so it's a little bit easier to do, but I think it looks nice.
I think it's cool that you've got all these bright colors. Like, you haven't had so many bright colors. Well, not since the resort, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit too realistic and, proper town buildings, where it's nice to do something just fun and colourful.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, on that happy, floaty, hot air balloon note, thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to know what bit of Maketopia is your favourite. Of all the 30 episodes, which bit of things that we've built did you like the most? Let me know in the comments below.
Yeah. And check the video description for links to the map download and also the full playlist of our Minecraft Let's Build a World series in case you've missed any episodes.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe to stay up to date with our latest Minecraft and all the other content on our channel too.
Thanks for watching.